grab some signs. What we gotta do is let's walk a little bit, okay? I need to find
Freewell and Franklin, we're out here at the C&H Sugar Factory in Crockett, where workers have been on strike for a number of days here, and we're going to speak to some of these guys today. Local 6, ILWU, and find out what's going on, what's some of their demands, and what's their plans to get to those ends. Stay tuned.
It's all right. Come on, pitch them. Let's get them. Oh, yeah.
All right, Freewell and Franklin here, and we are outside the C&H Sugar Factory, and it says 1906. That's 120 years it has been here, and I'm catching up with a lot of youth. So C&H has really made a company town out of Crockett, puts out about 14 to 16% of the nation's sugar, and they've been on strike for the past couple weeks or more. We're going to find out right here with Kendra Sparks, member of the ILWU Local 6. So first of all, just tell us how long you've been on strike and what's the main concerns that have you all out here.
Okay, sure thing. So this is our 6th week of being on strike, and this is not like an economic strike for us. The issue is not like, oh, we want more money. The issue is that that the contract that the company has presented to us is taking away seniority rights, taking away scheduling rights. It's also retroactively taking away medical from retirees. Anyone hired before 2009 was entitled to retirement medical, and they say they just don't feel like paying it anymore. So also changing overtime rules, making them even more harsh than, I mean, in the state of California, you get paid overtime anything past 8 hours in a day. But what they would like us to sign is something that says that we don't get any overtime until we've worked at least 40 hours in a week, and at the same time not even promising us that there would be 40 hours of work. They say if possible they'd schedule you for that, so they could work you 3 12-hour days and lay you off, and no layoff by seniority. So we're really fighting for language and to maintain. These are not new things we're asking for. They're things that we already have and that they want to take away. They like to flash around that they offered us 4% a year for 5 years, but they don't want to talk about that they're trying to take away so many meaningful things. It's a union-busting move on their part.
And what do you know about how C&H and this the Crockett plant are doing financially? Are they stable? Are they okay? I haven't really looked into it myself. So how is C&H standing here in Crockett?
Well, ASR, which owns C&H, is a multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporation. So, none of these things were even presented such a, it's not that they're suffering for money. They don't like having to deal with the union, and they're trying to weaken us to the point of breaking.
And I understand another local came out, Local 10, yesterday. Tell us about the support you had yesterday, what happened, and what it means to get that support from the other locals.
Well, that's one of the things that's been so, heartening about this whole experience is how supportive everyone has been. Not just the people in the town and all of the young activists that are coming is a really wonderful thing, but Local 10 showed up in numbers yesterday to really, support us, just a show of solidarity. It was felt really good to have everybody here. We're supposed to be having some people from ILWU Canada that are coming today. We've had contingencies from Hawaii, from the retirees. We've just had so much support out here. It's been really a wonderful thing.
Well, tell me about operations here. What's happening with, we can take a little step back if you want, just that way we're a little safer. What's happening with operations here in Crockett? Is the factory up and running? I could pan over to this little entrance here. Is this the main entrance where trucks come and go? So what's happening with operations? What's happening with truck drivers? Are they respecting your picket line? Are they trying to break through? I heard there's other scab workers that may be hired. Tell us about like the standing of truck drivers, scab workers, operations at the plant.
Yeah, so as far as we know, operations are very, very slow. This is an old facility. It's was built in, I think, 1905. So it's got a lot of quirks and personalities that, from what we're hearing, they're not having a lot of success in operating. So they still are doing some shipping. So there are trucks coming and going, and absolutely the trucks are crossing the picket lines. But as far as like producing, we usually see refining sugar. We usually see steam coming out when that process, when
out of that yellow, that little one?
Yeah, that little one, and then there's two other places where there's stacks and there's no steam. So, okay. So it seems like operations are trickling along.
All right. And then, so you mentioned that truck drivers are not respecting the picket and they're coming through. What is the level of your willingness and ability to stop the trucks? Are you physically blocking them? Are you just like calling them traitor? What are you guys doing to the trucks that are refusing to stop for you all?
Well, we're just running a picket, so it's so that trucks end up being delayed and things like that because we're walking back and forth in front of them. But that's really what we've got the power to do is just that, doing our protest. We've had a lot of situations where it's been kind of dangerous because they want to try and push through, and dangerous for the picketers. But all we can do is really walk in front of them.
And then I understand, we're here. The bridge is out there in the background. We are near a port. What are your port operations like? Is that how you ship? Waterways, rail? What do you all have back there, and what's happening on the backside?
Yeah, we don't really ship by rail anymore. We used to have quite a healthy rail shipment department, but not so much anymore. Yes, the placement on the water here is one of the things that makes the plant as big and an operation as it is because the ships can run right up here through in the straits and dock. They started unloading a ship yesterday with non-union employees, which is part of the reason that we had Local 10 here in force, because that's their work. So not only are we on strike, but as a separate issue, they're even impinging on the rights of the Local 10 and to do that contracted work.
And then you mentioned that what they were taking away from you. So I guess your demands are to restore that and not to take those away. Can you articulate your demands, and what's the plan for the next few days, weeks? What are you all looking at right now?
Well, we entered into the negotiations just like we have in the past, where, looking for like moderate raise, to limit medical costs as much as possible, a typical sort of approach to our contract negotiations, but the company just laid this out with all of these takeaways, not interested in looking at a single one of our proposals. So really right now we've just been dealing with what it is that the company is trying to take away. Hopefully we can get them to budge on those things, because the takeaways are so severe that we can't move forward until those issues are resolved, to even consider the normal things like, what would be a wage increase or anything like that. They're in negotiations again today, so that's, hopefully we'll come out of that with some good news, and that's just our plan so far, is just to be keeping here as a presence and trying to do everything we can to continue the negotiations.
And so the plan is to stay out here and remind the listeners and the people watching how the average person like myself can just come out and support you all out here. What's your hours? And I see there's a pile over here, a little station for families of the union workers. So if you have clothes or other food supplies, there's a little station. Talk about what's happening out here, how folks can participate or contribute over there.
Okay, so like I say, we've had such wonderful community support, and we welcome everybody here. So we're at the cross streets of Rolfe Avenue and Loring, out in front at the lower gate of CNH, and we are here 24 hours a day because the plant operates 24 hours a day. I know that there is information about a strike fund if somebody wants to contribute to that. I don't have that information on me, but certainly anybody wanting to come down, we welcome you with open arms, because everybody is having a hard time in this economy, and I think they understand, we're fighting for, a win for us in this situation is more than just a win for us. It's a win for everybody. We're just trying to have, secure a part of what is the American dream for everybody. Just you go to work, you work hard, and you're able to have a life and survive and be able to raise a family. And I think everybody really can identify with that. And so yeah, we welcome with open arms all the support we can get.
All right, I'm remembering your last name, Sparks. I can't. Kendra Sparks,
yes.
Member of ILWU Local 6. Thanks for speaking with us today, and good luck out here on getting your demands met.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm going to just shoot off into the crowd here. And this is Freewell and Franklin reporting out here outside the CNH Sugar Factory in Crockett, California.